What's up, traders? How are you? I hope you all are okay. This is Brombo. I'm back with another video, but this one is a volatility video. I've made this one to try and show you a setup that I had predicted, and still using the same strategy, market makers method, and counting of levels. And this was step index, and another one was the V100, but the step index is what I'm gonna do much on. The V100 I'm just gonna touch on, and also probably just tell you where the market is gonna go. But yes, as you can see, guys, there is a lot of predictions that will be going on in the market. We just look, we mark levels and all that, and see if the market is gonna go in our direction, and if we get good entries, we do take those entries, which is also very good. So now this is step index, and this is the setup that I had shared to say we were expecting the market to go into a sell direction. And as you can see where it was actually at a good place for entry, to a point that if someone had entered right here, he was not going to get any drawdown. It was going to be zero drawdown, because the market was going to just keep on going down. And again, if you look at the chart itself, you can see the place where I was asking people to enter was somewhere right there, and the market has moved all the way down up to here, which is a very big move. You could have held this for 2.25 days and make a lot of money out of it. Even with the smallest lot size, you could have gotten away with more than $100 on this. All right, so now the question is, how did I find this sell? What exactly did I look at? All right, so the first thing that I did was to count my levels. Remember, counting of levels is very important. So this I marked as my peak formation, because if I zoom my chart, you can see this is the point where price actually turned around and went to the downside. So now all I wanted to figure out was for how long price was going to keep on going in that direction. Now, this being my peak formation, then the next thing that I marked was, this was my first level drop of the market, and then after that I expected to see my second level drop, which was this one right here. And after that second level drop, then I anticipated that the market was supposed to drop from the 200 EMA and go even lower than this point, which is probably somewhere right there, which is exactly where it is right now. Now I want you to look at this, that this is what I wanted to see the market actually do. Now, if the market was probably maybe going up towards the 50 EMA, I was gonna think that the market probably maybe must get to the 50 EMA and start to go down there. But in this case, the market actually moved to the 200 EMA. The market actually moved to the 200 EMA. So they didn't stop here at 50 EMA, they extended to the 200 EMA, which the model that we trade, we say if the market forms a peak and goes down to level 1 and to level 2 and then to level 3, we say sometimes the 800 EMA will be crossing right there. So that's where you find your level 2 pulling to. Yet in this case here, your level 1 pulled only to the 200, and your 200 will be going somewhere around there, and your 50 EMA somewhere around there. Now, so okay, now what if the market reset in this point right here and continued going up? Why was I so sure that the market was going to go down? So here is how the whole thing happened. Now, if we go to the higher time frame, maybe start from the D1, you then appreciate the levels that I marked already to see that they are from this point right here and going all the way down. So now from the D1 time frame, you can see how the market turned around right here. So this is your focal point or your highest point in the market at that point in time, and you had a sell going down, and then the market came back up and the market went down but maintained the same low, and then this time around the market then came down and broke all those lows. All right, so which is why I anticipated the market to go down. Now someone might then ask that, all right, what if you haven't, since you had not seen these red candles, the market was somewhere here. What if the market continued going up? Now this is where I will then show you how I got this sell. All right, so I'm gonna mark this point right here so that when we go to the 1 hour time frame, we can actually tell where that point is. Okay, now looking at my 1 hour time frame, this is the point that I marked on the D1. All right, so this is my peak formation, and if I am to count levels, this is how it's gonna go. So this is gonna be my first drop for the day. Right, this is gonna be my first drop for the day, and with this marking of levels, I know some people always have got different ways of marking levels, which is perfectly fine, and I'll touch both of those as well to try and show you how these variations can still work in your favor too. Now this is the 3 drops towards to the downside in a single day, and then after that the market then rallies to a reset, and after a reset what you then expect is another 3 days of drop as well, and this then becomes my second day of drop, and then lastly this then becomes my 3rd day of drop. All right, so that means I have 1 4-hour level, and I have the second 4-hour level. All right, now I'll mark this point right here and say this is where the market is, okay, at the moment. So what do I want to see after this? I want to see another reset just like that one. So I want to see a reset to the 200 EMA, which is exactly what happened in this case, and then the market started to sell to the downside but respected the low of the previous levels, and then after that the market went back up to that point right there, which is where I started to mark my levels. All right, so now you can see that after all that has been done, the market moved back to the same point where we started my level 2. Now this then tells me that, okay, there's 2 things that's going to happen here. It's either I'm going to have 2 more 4-hour levels because these have been reversed, or I'm going to have a 3rd level. All right, so whichever way, I'm expecting a sell. I'm convinced that I want to see a 3rd level for sell, because here, when the market was here, it didn't break the low, so I haven't seen the 3 last levels. At the same time, they've reversed backwards to the 2nd level, so I still haven't seen the 3rd or whether the 2nd, so which is what I am now looking for. All right, so then in this case, that means this point right here then becomes either my 3rd or my 4th, sorry, either my 3rd or my 2nd 4-hour level, which will then be determined by the market. Now, because I had not seen that part right there, I knew that then whatever move is gonna come, it has to break those lows. So you can see how the second level of H1 for this move, which is the third or the second for H4, actually respected that low right there. After respecting the low, then it went up to the 200 EMA, and what I anticipated was that the market was gonna go all the way down. All right, so if I then turn to the 4 hour, then this is how it's gonna look like from the 4 hour. Now from the 4 hour, it looks like I've got sorry about that, it looks like I've got a peak, first drop, second drop, and third drop, or second drop. So I've got drop number 1, I've got drop number 2, I've got drop number 3, but I'm saying this is drop number 2. Reason being, we reversed drop number 2 back, so which means this could be drop number 2, and we might be expecting another drop number 3. Does that make sense? Now, if then that be the case, if I go to the D1 time frame again, now you can then appreciate on the D1 time frame why the market did what it did. Now the reason why I expect to see a third 4 hour level, it's because this 4 hour level that pushed now, which is what I was anticipating, has actually respected the D1 levels, all right, lows. It has actually respected the D1 lows, which then means the market is ranging. All right, so it means the market is what is ranging. So we are trading within a ranging market. So I want to see these lows broken down. So that means what's going to happen is I'm going to have that third. So now that means I'm convinced the third one is going to come. Now, after that being the case, then the next thing that I need to consider is H1, because that is where we trade from. Now I want to see from H1 how price is actually going to move. Now you can see already that you've got a railroad track right there. So what you want to see from H1 is a second leg, and after the second leg you take a buy and you buy the market possibly to the 50 EMA or the 200 EMA. All right, and then after that you then take a sell and then let the market go down and break those D1 levels. So meaning you won't close until you see the market break those what D1 levels. All right guys, I hope this makes sense. Okay, now as I promised, I'll show you the V100, but this one is just going to be a quick one. All right, so V100, I predicted this sell. Reason being, the market was on level 3. You can see a first drop, you can see a second drop, and the market was right here. So I expected to see a third drop, and after that drop, what do you see? A very nice W. So after this W, the market will buy to the 200 and then it will sell. Why is the market going to sell? Let's go to the higher time frames. 4 hour time frame is actually telling me nothing at this point, or I can assume it's actually telling me that we are coming for an IT50 and then we drop down. Now, not to get too far out of myself, let's look at D1. D1 is coming off of a peak. It's coming from a peak, which is the highest point. Now, coming from a peak, which is the highest point, I can confirm that if I count levels here, I will find 3 H4 levels, or whether up to there, whichever the case may be, I'll find H3 levels. So that means here we are facilitating a reset, which might be happening on the 50 AM instead, and the market is gonna go all the way down. All right, thank you guys. I hope this makes sense, and please don't forget to catch these setups. I'll meet you on the next one.